One last chance to punch a ticket to sunny San Diego. We have a $1 million prize pool. We have $200,000 to the first place prize. All of this taking place in San Diego in less than a month. And there's one more qualifier to accomplish this. That qualifier is tonight, 2 seats up for grabs. And we got a panel of guests here on Off and On the Clock today to get you ready for that slate, to give you the tips and tricks you need to take it down. We got Nez, we got John, and we got our guest, Mike Zakarian, here to break down this massive Dog Bowl slate. I'm Pete. Let's do it. Pick'ems. Have 2 videos in the Off and On the Clock StreamYard hopper. One is a pick'em sizzle and one is the intro sting. And I think I just gravitate so heavily to the pick'em that
Man, I got excited. Yeah, I was ready to blast off. I was like, here we go. Let's get it started.
Yeah, Underdog actually told us, like, actually, you're not even allowed to talk about the draft games. You just got to do an hour and a half about pick'ems. They only care about pick'ems. It's all you can do. Mike, thank you for being an honorary 4th member of Off and On the Clock today.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I think the last time I was on, I finished in 3rd place. So hate it.
Ooh. There you go. The you keeping that cuck chair warm for the other 3rd place finishers?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, Mike, you've had some close calls. Nez, you've had some close calls. John, you like to draft TJ McConnell. Is that kind of sum up just everybody's experiences in the Dog Bowl so far?
For the record, I did finish in the top 10 twice so far. So, okay. I mean, directionally accurate, dare we say. But yes, I do. I am a TJ McConnell enjoyer.
Let's do this one more time. I know we're going to have a lot of sickos watching the slate tonight, but we might have some, football bros here being like, you know what? It'd be pretty funny if I put in one entry and punched a ticket to San Diego tonight. Nez, do you want to tell them what the Dog Bowl is? They might be familiar with the NFL version. What do we got going with the NBA one?
Yeah, so this is a qualifier to get to San Diego, a live final. Top 2 win. This has been filling close to 11,000 contestants a night. So we're trying to finish top 2 here. You finish 3rd place, you get $1,000 and a seat at the cuck chair. That's it. So you want to finish top 2, man. You get $10,000 just for qualifying, and then you get a chance to win $200,000 for first, $1 million in total in prizes if you do qualify, plus all of the wonderful amenities that Underdog will provide in San Diego. Ask anybody that's been there and they continue to chase the dream and get back there. Like, there is just like no other event like an Underdog event in live final. So everybody's trying to get there, man. It's too much fun to not try.
Nick in the chat saying, I'm literally doing exactly that. First timer, 1 to 2 entries. Nick, this show is for you. It's for me. It's for the people who are not full-blown hoops heads. Although, as I told Zakarian earlier, I messaged him, I went down a Mattis YouTube rabbit hole last night. I'm now a fan for life, man. That guy is awesome.
Can you say the last name?
I did. I just said Mattis. I've been trying to pull it.
I'm seeing how deep down the rabbit hole you went of our guy Bucells. Yeah, he's fun, man. He played I think 9 minutes last night, which was pretty sick. As they lost by 145, but he's fun. He's fun.
The reason I had to go down a rabbit hole is because he wasn't playing at all in the game, so I had to go remember, what it was actually like when he gets a chance to play. John, let the people know about the format of these drafts. Obviously, when we started the qualifiers, there were some 10-person drafts. We're back to the 6-person draft. So if anyone has drafted a flagship BR, hoop slate, or whatever, they are fully familiar with this exact format, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. 11-game slate tonight, 6-person drafts, $10 price point, 13,000 total entries there. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Ease of hoops is that you can just overlap in multiple contests, positionless sport, and just jam away across everything in the lobby. So, yeah, the live final itself will be 10-person drafts. So you're going to have to, if you happen to get there, you're going to have to acquaint yourself with the TJ McConnells of the world and scroll all the way down. But, yeah, for this evening's sake, you only need to know about 38 to 40 basketball players.
It also reminds me, Mike, I think I asked this last time, and let me get my my YouTube settings here figured out. There we go. do you adjust your strategy at all for this qualifier relative to how you would play, the hump day hoops and the regular stuff? Is there anything you're doing differently or thinking about differently?
I honestly not since it's moved to the 6-man. I don't. It's pretty similar. I think I'm a little bit more comfortable in like a hump day hoops type situation of being like super overweight on a 6-round play than I think I would be for dog bowl. I've been trying to spread it out a little bit more. But that's really it. That's really the only difference. I don't know. Have you guys been approaching it differently? Since it switched to 6-man?
Not entirely. No. I'm like way more conscientious on like teammate pairings though. Like if I do Jason Tatum, like no Jaylen Brown. Things like that. But like underdogs, like I've talked about before, I don't mind pairing like underdog teammates together. As far as like a given matchup, but I'm like way more particular about like trying to absolutely hit the nuts as opposed to like, hey, like maybe I can get a $700 lineup, here, like that'd be pretty cool. Very much more focused on that, but otherwise, like I am still trying to draft the best players, as we like to say.
This is an NF. Oh, go ahead, John.
No, I was just gonna say I think a really good example of that tonight to be cognizant of is the Orlando stuff, like just pairing Franz and Paulo together. Just
good point. Yeah.
Feels like the not low, to be honest. Like I like both of them in a vacuum this evening, but pairing them together to try and chase like one of two seats this evening, especially the way their ADPs line up, like you could accidentally end up with a bunch of it if you're auto drafting. So the hand builders, that's kind of one pairing I've been fading today.
So it's almost equivalent to how we sometimes say it's easy to have stacking brain in NFL, right? Where that last pick, it's like, I got to stack it. And it's like, man, hitting the nuts probably means you're actually not stacking it because it's actually going to lower your ultimate ceiling.
Yeah. Although our guy Chandler Blake in the chat just chimes in, guaranteed Paulo plus Franz is going to win now tonight. famous last words. And hey, as a man who's already cashed a seat, he's got one more seat than the four of us combined at this moment in time. Who knows?
Mike, one other thing that's have been unique for this slate, although I guess we have trimmed it a little bit, but this is still a really big slate, right? 11-game slate. I mean, for people who played last night, 4-game slate, those dynamics really change things. And I've listened to you guys too on the Bad Bros talk about how it's almost like counterintuitive in that, oh, there's a ton of teams. This means there's all kinds of places you can go in the 6th round, but that can sometimes have the flip side effect of, but there's some really good plays in the 6th round that you don't want to pass up on. So Mike, how are you thinking about, how off the board you're willing to get in the 6th round to have a unique piece versus just trying to jam in as many projected points as possible?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going too far off the board today. Zion deciding, that he's maybe not in the best of shape has now opened up like some CJ McCollum, which is a new fun 6th-round pick. Also, like, how is he questionable with conditioning? They have a back-to-back at home. Can they just tell their fucking fans like if he's playing or not? Like I don't understand how that's a questionable. But
I've been questionable with conditioning for the last 10 years, Mike.
yeah. But you know what, John? You always show up though, and that's why we love you.
That's right.
True, I do show up.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't think I'm going too far off the board. Like I probably, I don't know, 42, 44 guys, something in that range that I've been looking around at. And Bobby Portis is opening his big eyes at me again after just shoving it down my throat the other night. So, but nothing too crazy.
Nez, before we get into kind of like slate specific, ADP specific stuff, for the people who are going to put in 1 to 2 entries, do you have any advice? Because obviously if you're going to put in 50 entries, you're going to be mixing and matching a lot of shit. You're going to be trying to build out a portfolio, giving yourself a few different ways to win. But what would you say to that person that's just going to put 2 bullets in there? How should they be thinking about the approach?
I would definitely be conscientious of like the pairings that I'm getting with ADP. At some point in the draft, it doesn't have to be immediate. I know we really like to do it like right off the rip, in the 2nd round, take a guy 6 picks ahead, scroll down that way. At some point in the draft, you need to take a player that is not often paired with your current teammates. So basically that's like 6 picks down the board, 4 picks down the board, depending on where you're at. Making sure that you are getting somebody that does not line up with that ADP, so you have some uniqueness on your side and you're pulling that lever, because we're all drafting great players. Like only 36 players get drafted every time. So one of the angles that you can really lean into is having a unique team. And I think that's like the 101 if you are just drafting like one or two teams today.
Spoken like a man who leads the Hoops leaderboard this year, right there.
Wow.
Nez, that
Wow.
that was perfectly articulated, dude. The other thing that I'd add a wrinkle to there would be like doing it with teammates feels really good too. So flipping like Katie and Booker, flipping Paulo and Franz, flipping like something like that, where it's like, they never make it back to the other side of the board. And they're also positively correlated with that guy having a negative output in his ceiling. So like doubling down on that notion, you could do it with Sengun and Almond Thompson. That might be a really uncomfortable one with the Q tag, but you could definitely consider doing that,
Just a little 2.5 round flip there.
Yeah. but Mike, if he gets that little green active tag at lock, he will project to be like the 12th best play on the slate, right?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. He's got that green check's coming.
Yeah.
Normally the way I think about it, and it's the same for football, right? Like there's generally 3 ways you can do something that's unique. You can flip the board, you can pull someone up, you can reach ahead of ADP. You can take a guy in the 6th round who isn't normally drafted. And then the other way is you get a huge ADP value. Like you can essentially reverse flip the board if you get someone who normally doesn't fall to a specific portion of the draft. So those are generally the 3 ways I'm thinking about it. And in hoops, like the easiest way for me generally to get to one is I always think like it's not a joker slate tonight, but when you have Jokic at 101 and you're like, Jokic, who's likely to be optimal, is going to get paired with the same 2-3 turn guys over and over again. Let me see who's on the opposite side of the board. That would be like pick 18, 19, 20. That's not often going to get pulled up with him, and then pair him with my Joker team. So that's just the kind of stuff I think you can think about. And to Nez's point too, when you're only doing one draft and you're not autoing and you're not like, you could really sit there and focus on that stuff and look and be like, hey, the next guy by Q is ADP of 13. Everybody else is probably taking this. Let me actually move a little bit. So definitely some advantages here for hand builders. You guys want to talk? Let's talk a little just macro about the slate. I mentioned 11 games. There is no Joker on this slate. I'll pull up ADP here in a second, but anything from like a game environment stuff that stands out to you guys tonight here?
Can I just have
go ahead, John. You start.
Yeah, one macro point before we even hit on an isolated game is, back end back-to-backs for every team that played yesterday. Front end back-to-backs for anyone who plays tomorrow as well there. So pushing up to the All-Star break, there's a lot of teams, especially if you see like big spreads, wide spreads, they'll pull guys early. They'll sit guys because they want to get them extended breaks through the All-Star break. So more so on this slate than any other slate this year, I am Windhurst double fingers up with some of these Q tags of what could be happening this evening in terms of stars getting elongated breaks over the All-Star break.
Yeah, and that's a good point again for the people who aren't regularly playing. Let them know, because there's kind of waves of news information that we get, right? Teams submitting their first report. Some of them will come out as being game time decisions that literally will probably not get until after lock. How do you guys tend to navigate what we call kind of the Q tag, dynamic on these slates?
Yeah, I've just been kind of like spread watching and seeing if what's been moving, and like the Anthony Edwards, I think is a good one. Where although now with the Dame Q tag, I don't know, maybe that shifts it a little bit, but I kind of feel like that's a fake Q tag for Ant-Man, so I've been taking him as early and often as possible. So I guess it's kind of player dependent. I'm at John. You mentioned the Q tags. I'm actually mentioning somebody that doesn't have, or 2 people that don't have Q tags in like the Phoenix situation, and how they're going to approach the back-to-back. And because I agree with you, I think like there's the opportunities to give somebody like KD who missed a couple games, just came back, to like give him rest before the All-Star break. But man, like the way the West is right now, they also can't like afford to punt games. And so I started the morning thinking like, hey, maybe we see like a KD sit or a Book who's been playing like 55 minutes a game recently. But I actually don't. I kind of think they're all going to be good to go.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like that. I was flipping the KD and book ADPs earlier. I mean, shout out KD, fourth or fifth fastest player to get to 30K points, beat LeBron.
Third
Third fastest. Holy smokes. Got that done last night. Got our pick'em home too on the show. Don't call it a heater, boys.
I tailed that. That was nice.
We're cooking right now with that. But yeah, that one, definitely I was a less bullish than you on that one, where I was like, okay, Booker was going heavy, then has a little softer night in terms of handling last night, and then now I'm going to flip them today when their ADPs are flipped on the site. So I've been taking Booker ahead for the opposite reasons almost. So yeah.
I think like looking at that game specifically, we're going to see one of two things. We're either Sengun's in or one or KD or Book's not playing. I think based on, I don't know why Houston without Fred VanVleet, who's also been playing kind of like shit for the last 2 or 3 weeks, why they would be like 6-point favorites. If Goon's in, sure. But if Sengun's out, then I think, I don't know, the line feels a little fish.
Like it.
Yeah. Why don't we start here? I pulled up the ADP for this slate here. I think it might make sense to kind of work in segments here, so we can kind of talk about this top of the board here, maybe these first 9 to 10 ADPs. Nez, we do have the Q tags in here at 7 and 7-3 with Lillard and Edwards. What is your thought on the top of the board here today?
It feels pretty solid, except for this Dame ADP right now. This is not Dame's real ADP. Not all these Q tags are created equal. We got this Dame Q tag this morning, so he's falling quite a bit. I will say we had a Dame Q tag off on a back-to-back earlier this week, and he did end up playing. He totally bamboozled us. I did not think that he was going to play, and he did. So this, to me, is very fishy. I do expect him to sit because it came so late. There you go, right? Like, Dame is falling big time. So I actually would lean Dame out, but if you get him at pick 23, man, that's a free roll at that point. Like, the swaps are totally fine at that range. Anthony Edwards, Q tag. He's been like carrying this because he's playing so much basketball and the team is just like fully on his back these days. If Ant plays, dude, I think he's a smash. Like, we are just seeing a whole different Ant Edwards this last month or so. And against Milwaukee, this current iteration of the Milwaukee Bucks right now, I am like licking my chops for Anthony Edwards. And if we get Anthony Edwards active, if we got it right now, Anthony Edwards ready to go today, I would have him 4.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Gotcha. So ahead of Cat, right, Nez?
I would have him ahead of Cat if he was fully active today.
Gotcha.
Pete, one other thing with the top of the board there, you were talking about injury reports and stuff. We're going to get another one in 11 minutes time right now, but the Pacers back end back-to-back still have not submitted. The Knicks, so the aforementioned Cat versus Ant debate there, we could still see something pop up for Cat. They have not submitted yet there. And then Pistons and Bulls have not submitted yet. So Cade, who's going in front as well, and the Suns. And Cade, who's going in front as well. So we could see something funky in the future here with all those ADPs at the front end.
Mike, what's the chalk 1-2 turn right now? Because I assume the ADP is not an indicator of what that would be as far as people going Lillard Edwards.
I actually don't know. Is it because I haven't seen Evan Mobley being picked before like pick 15 since like 9 this morning. So my guess is it's some version of Trey and Brunson, or I think some people were bringing up Amen a little bit, or some Zion at times. But
that's
my guess would be what's up?
That's 2-3.
Oh, that was like 2-3. Sorry, he was asking like 1-2, like 7, like
oh,
6.
Oh my God, my bad.
No,
yeah, the chalk I think was Tatum Dame for a while, or like Ant Dame, Ant Tatum, something like that. I don't know about you guys. I thought Maxey was like silly price, so I pulled him up to 7 for most of today, and have just been taking him as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm in the same camp as you with the Maxey stuff. I was pulling up Maxey to 5, so that's where
it's been some combination of Ant, Maxey, and Tatum for me.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, ignoring the Lillard price here for sure.
The Tatum 100%. One could age even better if we get no JB again tonight.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right. He already projects well with Brown projected in. Like, you get Jaylen Brown out, you might be looking at Jason Tatum 102.
Yeah.
All right, let's slide. Are there any other kind of considerations for round one, or is it basically like I just want access to most of these guys? I'm going to play it mostly via ADP unless I'm flipping the board or something like that.
Franz be hooping. Franz be hooping, guys.
Yeah, he is hooping.
Back-to-back games over 53 points. Where did we finally slot Paolo?
Like pick 20 right now.
Okay. Yeah. Let's move past the kind of like Maxey and Franz tier. We're into Trae Young, who people forget is playing at Madison Square Garden tonight. Mike mentioned Mobley here. Brunson, not a ton of Q tags in this range other than Zion. Nez, where would Zion's ADP be if he didn't have a Q tag?
Well, this Q tag is fairly recent, but as far as like where he's actually being taken, he's basically pick 13, pick 14. I was pulling him up to the 2-3 turn all morning. And so I'm a little upset right now because we got this late Q tag. And why I was so excited about Zion is he's had this minutes cap, like he has not hit 30 minutes in a long time. This game against the Kings had a high total and a tight spread. So we weren't really concerned about blowout risk here, or at least it was very unlikely. So I just thought Zion had a chance to cook. His PRA was as high as it's been all season at 37.5. Now he has this Q tag. This is, in my opinion, very real. But like I'm not going to let Zion fall that much. If he's falling to a turn to the following turn, the 3-4 turn, I will take him 3. So that way I get priority swap and still have access to it. You see the PRAs already went down. It was at 37.5 a lot of places I saw. Now it's at 35.5, probably because of this conditioning BS. It's really unfortunate, man, because Zion is one of the most entertaining basketball players to watch on the court, and he's awesome. Yeah, it's tough right now. I'd say he's probably Rocket Sauce in the chat saying he just saw him go 21. I would say his real ADP right now is like 22, 23.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're not going to get an answer to this. What are they going to learn between now and tip about Zion's condition? Like what?
I know, dude.
Yeah.
I know.
Just fucking rule them out, you cowards. Like if that's what you're going to do, rule them out.
Yeah, that's such a vague thing. I'm looking at the news alert that just literally says conditioning in there, which is like what he woke up and was like, "Hey guys, I went for a jog this morning and I was fucking absolutely dogging it." Like, all right.
My man came into the building mouth breathing, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Just one walk up the stairs, he got his hands above his head. Oh god. That is like from Nez's point of like, if you were pulling him up or whatever, like at that ADP, he's coming all the way back around. Sorry, Nez, this isn't a needle, but he's coming all the way back around to the 101 drafters now at the 4-5 turn potentially.
I think so.
I just looked through
and I'll do it again.
a bunch. I just looked through a bunch of the autos that I was running while we started the show there. And the furthest I got him on a team, I had him ranked 22. And the furthest I got him on a team was in line with Cade Cunningham in the 4th round. So Cade, Franz, Amen Thompson, and Zion.
Okay.
So yeah, about 21, 22.
On that note, guys, what other, because this contest opened up last night. There are a lot of savvy drafters that like to hop in early. Are there any other combo considerations, Nez, where there's already been movement, where there's combos that aren't able to be had that were last night?
I think what you're going to see is Alperen Şengün move upwards, either because people are realizing that he projects really well and he's worth a shot, or he's present at shoot around type news and he's going to move up because bigs against the Phoenix Suns have been destroying lately. Şengün, just on any given slate, should be higher than this in the ADP rankings. He left a game early, which is why he's going back here. This Q tag is very real. I thought it was like a knee. I guess it was his back. But he did participate in a light practice yesterday. So I'm feeling pretty bullish about this, man. And at this current range, he's available in the 5th round. That's a free roll. If Alperen Şengün plays, I'll do the classic dog bowl thing that I used to do for NFL. He's in the winning lineup. if he's playing. Like
Ooh.
I feel so strongly about that.
All right, there
I
you go. The
respect
price on Şengün is going up after that pounding the table right there.
Pete,
Mike,
one of
ahead.
the combo ones that no longer exists will be Maxey falling back to the 101 and 102 drafters and stuff. When the Embiid Q tag existed and he was going in the last round, people were hedging a little bit. The combo wise, Maxey was the biggest ADP riser in the second round thus far. So those combos are no longer available.
Okay, that's good to know. Mike, anything else in this second, third round range, around the Zion territory in either direction that stands out to you?
No, not really. I'm a pretty pro Magic. I just like the spot for them against Charlotte, and I know Paolo's underperformed a little bit the last few weeks, but I'm happy to just be there when he gets right. And then again, I like another slate, another time I'm not drafting Donovan Mitchell. I think that's just kind of evergreen at this point. And then, Godspeed to anyone trying to figure out the Halliburton stuff. I'm just hoping both of those guys are off the board when it's my turn to pick is usually what I'm rooting for.
Did you see last night, Mike, Hallie's dad wanting him to drop 68 for his 68th birthday?
Yeah. He said, how about 1/5 of that? Or like
how about in the next 4 games you get to 68?
Yeah.
I hope he's had a talk with his father about how unreasonable that request is going to get each year. For he's like that. I mean, can we adjust it to my PRA? Here? Look at me now making PRA jokes after not even knowing what that meant about 2 months ago. Yes, and I know the rules, right? It's never road Hallie. That's a rule.
Never ever, especially on a back-to-back.
This is the true test, though. It's the Washington Wizards. So, like,
dude, I'm taking him today. Dude, I'm taking him today. Come on, I bet they got nice beds in the DC area, right? He's got a Tempur-Pedic out there. You got to take a chance on Hallie against the Wizards, man. You gotta. I mean, this game environment.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
I have to. I have to. I'm going back to. So I kind of like flip flopped in my hoops drafting era this season. I went from like knowing my matchups. In trusting my matchups and ignoring projections to like, okay, I gotta go projections. I don't know my matchups anymore to like, I'm back to the fucking matchups, baby. And it's the Pacers against the Wizards. Siakam undervalued, Hallie undervalued. I don't care.
It's amazing what a W will do for the confidence, to swing the pendulum back the other way, Nez.
That's right. I mean, because we trusted the matchups. Just forget projections.
We kind of scrolled past them. We just talked about how nobody was taking them earlier, but Mobley's now like continuing to be like pick 18, 19, 20. Is he just projecting terribly today? Because I mean, I know the spread's pretty big, so there's blowout risk or whatever, but I mean, Toronto just gets smoked by bigs. Mobley's shown ceiling. I know it's like a recency bias with the 66, but I think he had like a 60-pointer not too long ago too, before that. So what's with the Mobley slide?
He's had 2 60-pointers in his last 3 games.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
The box score watchers set the ADP, and then the projection bros react to it. So all the projection bros know that there's blowout risk here, and I am ass at projecting the Cavaliers. I know that that's a weak spot for me. I can't project the Cavaliers correctly to save my life, and so I think Brunson becomes way more appealing, way safer than Evan Mobley. Amin Thompson just like comes preloaded with 4 stocks against, this weak Suns team. Seems more appealing. Zion looked more appealing. Like just like in the pick'em lobby, all these guys looked better than Mobley, but Mobley just has this like unbelievable monster ceiling that I can't for the life of me get right.
Yeah. All right. I mean, book out.
We got a ton of news just now with the 130
breaking news here. Yeah, you want me to rattle it?
Yeah, do it, Ness. Or John, go for it.
We got Alex Sarr available. Luka not on our slate, but for the 4-game dad slate is probable. Aaron Gordon questionable for that same slate. Miles Turner is out. Someone asking in the chat about potential Thomas Bryant, who balled out last night. Now he definitely is in play. Book is out now, so much for my KD versus Book narrative. And then Josh Hart with the probable tag there. Jarris Walker with a Q tag as well for the Pacers, which would factor in to the big rotation a little bit.
Wow.
So, Nez, what does this do to Durant's ADP, Bol, anyone else on the Suns come into play?
Yeah, Bol I think is only getting drafted by like a few jokesters. He is legitimately extremely draftable right now, like extremely draftable. And I will probably make him one of my priority swaps. I drafted a ton of 6-round Embiid before he was out. Just like, hey, there's a chance he plays, and if not, like I love just like staying on the clock. They started Bol like John and I talked like Bol's awesome. We need to get Bol minutes, free Bol. Kevin Durant's coming back. This is bad for Bol. Kevin Durant comes back and then they start Bol. It was like mind blowing. Now Booker's out. Bol stepping in. They had him play 5 in the second half because they sat Nick Richards to start the second half. Now he's playing. I mean, this dude is just like awesome. He shot what, Mike, 10 threes last night on top of all of these stocks, on top of the boards. I mean, like, I'm not saying that Bol is going to like provide generational wealth tonight, but this dude fucking rules, dude. He is just so fun. And he's a fantasy monster.
Yeah, 5 stocks, I think, 3 for 10 from 3. Like, I love that he launched 10 threes, man. I don't know what Bud said to him, but again, somebody had asked me about it the other day too, and I was like, KD's back, so he's probably out of the rotation. And Bud's like, no, Beal, let's put a 7-footer in there for him instead. Starting 3 bigs is wild. They still lost because Phoenix has no vibes, but it'll be good. I'm here for it. I'm here for the Bol.
Even more minutes maybe opening up here too, because Grayson Allen has just been ruled out as well.
Hell yeah!
Wow. And sorry, did one of you say where you think Durant will settle now, ADP wise?
No, he did not.
13, 14?
Yeah,
not that much.
Yeah,
of
probably.
A boost. Okay.
I think he'll kind of way higher.
You think so?
He's going to project like just the way the projections work. You know, they're going to shift. He's going to have a PRA of like 43.5. He's going to project like around Tatum right now until we get JB ruled out. My assumption of how the models are going to react to this news, because they overreact so much. They shift all this usage to KD if something like this happens.
Here's a classic overreaction by the projection bros that jam and they don't think about the combos and the combinatorial. Is KD was falling back to the 6-7 like over and over again this morning, and people are going to have combinations of like 2 picks in the first and second round and then KD in the third or the fourth over and over with it, right? So flipping the board with him to be a second round pick is probably like suboptimal, but taking him in the middle of the second round or paired with your 101 is going to be like way better.
But there's no way he's falling back to 101 drafters now, right?
He will.
I just let him. I'm drafting right now, and I just let him go to Mwald at the corner there because I'd rather have SGA and Franz still, I think.
I'm still, if he's the guy you need, he's the guy you need, and I'm gonna probably be excited to take him. I drafted a lot this morning. I don't have a single 5th round KD, so I wish I was there.
5th round? People on 5th round?
I thought you said 5-6 for KD.
No.
Okay, I misunderstood.
3-4 with the 5th and 6th pick. So the people that have the 105 and the 106.
Okay. I was like,
right hand side of the board.
This is cool, man. This is cool. I think you should chase KD. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. I mean, like,
yeah. I just saw him go 7. So people reacted quickly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Moving past here, so past Mitchell, we're kind of now in this Fox territory. Fox, I guess, is interesting in that he'll probably never be paired with Wemby, right? Like he's going to be the opposite side of the Wemby ADP. I assume he'll probably be paired with Tatum a lot if he's on that side of the board.
I actually have quite a bit of Fox with Wemby this morning.
Really coming all the way back around? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why that happened. Maybe because Trey Murphy got boosted up a little bit. But yeah, I've had Fox fall a couple of times down to Wemby.
Any other notes in this range here, guys? Basically the 20s. I feel like this is always a tough range because you're kind of teetering on those guys who, yes, can they put up the 45 to 50 points and pay off like a second round tag, but they could also perform like the 6th rounders, and you never know how much to load up and how much to diversify in this range.
I think Trey Murphy's pretty interesting if you think Zion's going to miss. Sacramento likes to get lit up by, everybody, but 3-point shooters. And so I the same reason that CJ becomes a fun swap and 6th round pick, I think And I think people are scared to bump Trey up a couple of times just because it's like, I mean, bump him up a little bit just because it's not, it's not a Donovan Mitchell. It's not De'Aaron Fox, so it's not, doesn't have the same sexy name recognition. But I think Trey could be a fun one tonight.
Yeah, I'd ask you if you're scared about the handling role with CJ coming back, because like Trey's game is, as you alluded to, the 3-ball and like the catch and shoot stuff. Like, but what really saw his fantasy value uptick the last like 2 weeks or whatever with no CJ and no DeJounte is the potential assists climbed in a big way. And he was capitalizing on those opportunities. Are we scared at all that like, CJ comes back, takes a lead handling role, and those assists go way of him instead of Trey?
If Zion is out, I'm not. If Zion is in, then I don't like it there. So I think if you're playing Zion out, I think it's fun. But with Zion in, you're right, because then those are the 2 ball handlers, CJ and Zion.
Okay, cool.
Nez, the people's favorite, Josh Hart. Good price or bad price on Josh Hart today?
Great price. Josh Hart, probable. He's going to play. Great matchup against Atlanta. I kind of am really interested. Like Atlanta sort of like revamped themselves. They kind of like rebranded. They made like they had like a strange trade deadline. They got rid of DeAndre Hunter, which was like, a good move. They're not really going anywhere right now with Jalen Johnson hurt. And like Capella just like not playing for them anymore. So they've got like LeVert now. He just played like 32 minutes. I think Atlanta has a chance to be like a really fun spot. They always have been, right? But even now more so. Like I think that they sort of shored up their ability to provide good fantasy environments. Obviously, it wasn't their goal, but it's how I look at it. So Josh Hart, man, a triple double watch every single night. He's the heart and soul of this team, dude. Like Cat and Brunson may come and go. Josh Hart's always going to be there for 40.
Yeah, he has been very consistent. Mike, you're the zinger whisperer. Is it a zinger night? Jaylen Brown what's his price? What are we doing with these Celtics?
I don't really love them. I think Tatum I like. I think if you're like Nez said earlier, if you're playing Tatum out, or if Tatum's not, I'm not playing him out. I'm sorry. If you don't have Tatum on a lineup, I do like the 6-round shot of Jaylen Brown. And if he's not, and whatever, there's some fun swaps there. I have been off of Porzingis today for the most part. I have him like in the 6th round, and so he's not fallen a ton. I don't know. I just don't love it. Do you guys feel differently with the old Zanger?
I'm never in on Porzingis. Like he's been killing me. I was in on him earlier, and then I backed off, and now he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm playing 30 minutes a game, and I'm putting up like 50 fantasy points a game. This is a great spot. So I'm nervous about the fade. But I am also fading him because like I want so much Şengün. Like I want Şengün over Zinger. So I'm doing that, and that's leading me to very little Zinger in my lineups.
Interesting that you said it's a great spot going up against like Wemby, just because of like the pace here.
Yeah, the pace.
Right.
It's I'm not really overly DVP. I'm not
Yeah.
overly DVP build.
Okay, cool. Yo, I got a John narrative of the night right here. You ready for this one? Brunson gets all the quick ones last night. 5 fouls there. Only plays like 20 some odd minutes. It's Brunson foam finger night at the Garden versus Trey, who we know has disrespected the Garden before. And we're rolling in with Miles McBride, Q-Tag, coupled with OG's not going to play before the All-Star break. They almost said so the other day. So that's my Brunson bull case there.
I was going to be pretty light. Sorry, I was going to be pretty light on Brunson tonight, but now with some of the Zion stuff, I might have a little bit more. I kind of am Dyson Daniels pilled a little bit, and since Daniels has entered the starting lineup, the Brunson ceiling has kind of come down a little bit in those matchups. I know in the most recent game, I think he dropped 34, but didn't do too much else in that game. And then I think it was 2 or 3 other times Daniels kind of bottled him up a little bit. But I do like the idea, like the fact that they're on a back-to-back and he played like 9 minutes last night or whatever it was because of the foul trouble. I do like that. So I don't want to full fade it. Again, especially now with probably no Zion, I'm going to have more Brunson.
John, I think it is worth, like, I just want to offer a counterpoint to your narrative, your Brunson narrative. Because as far as, fan appreciation gifts, wasn't it Beef Stew the other night on his bobblehead night didn't even play that game? So I just want to say there's very little correlation between having yourself on a piece of merch, correlating with a good game.
Factually correct.
So we kind of talked about the Shengun stuff. Sounds like that's an awesome Q tag to vacuum up. As far as like this territory now, if we're going ADP of like 30 to say like 34.6, these are your 6th rounders, your guys that are probably still getting drafted a decent bit, right? Probably like 50 to 80% of the time. Which of these guys in the 6th round, stand out to you guys as good picks?
Well, I'm ready to be hurt by Bobby Portis again. So I'll be going back to some Bobby after he destroyed, I believe, the last Dog Bowl slate. But that's one that I've been going to.
Yeah, I've been doing that one as well. I mean, the leverage play off of it is if you want to go back to that Kyle Kuzma and they bring Bobby off the bench yet again for whatever reason. So, maybe there's something there. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of like I have a kind of a line in the sand after Sengun and J-Dub where I just kind of scroll after that, and I'll start mixing and matching. The best projecting plays will be, it's interesting to note that Vooch has a probable tag right now, which is, whatever, but he just got hit with a designation. But yeah, after Vooch and Bam will like kind of project the best. Then you'll have this huge clump of no one knows what the fuck to do with the Kings guys, and people just be mixing and matching them over and over, and all go just elsewhere to get like some leverage.
Yeah, I think for me, I've been mixing in. It's a big spread. It's a little scary. Mixing in some hero with the Q tag. His pick'ems look really, really nice. So I'm willing to take some, some hero ball today, and if he doesn't play, get some swaps.
I think this is an interesting one because it's front end back to back, and he flew to meet the team this morning. So like the fact that why would you make the flight to there instead of just playing tomorrow if you're not going to play basketball this evening, right?
Well, OKC is the halfway point to San Francisco, so maybe he's just getting a head start for All-Star Weekend,
the popular hub of OKC International.
Yeah.
Yeah, you flying through OKC on your way to San Fran, Mike?
No, I'm not.
Nez actually has a hard out here in about 10 minutes, and I want to get into a draft with Nez. The show's going to keep rolling, but let's quickly, as far as John just mentioned, of course, scrolling here, let's quick from the panel, get your guys' favorite scroll down right now. Can obviously be a Q tag if that is the angle here, but Mike, favorite scroll play here, let's say, after ADP of like 35.5, basically.
I'm now, it's Bull now. I mean, it has to, with no Booker, right? It has to be Bull.
I assume he's going to quickly venture into drafted in every single draft territory, as if that's not already happened.
I'm saying like half of them right now.
I know. I'm just calling you out for cheating. The spirit of this was to get a John. I need a guy who's going to be drafted at less than 25% of drafts.
All right, oh God, this fucking does 7 basketball drafts, and he's like, "Oh, this is weird. Scroll down."
I mean, you just give me the biggest steam candidate on the entire slate for your sleeper.
All right, here we go. Here's one for you. Let's do DeRozan. Is DeRozan going all the time? What's his ADP?
He's the highest of the 3 Kings of the ones that are non.
All right, then Monk.
What I'm learning is Mike has never scrolled down in his life. It's just play the best plays for Mike Zakarian.
I already had been okay. Bull. No, you guys go.
Let John. You want to have your mind blown?
Okay, here we go.
John, what do you got?
If you want leverage off the Ant stuff, Jaden McDaniels isn't crazy. Okay. Been playing a shit ton of minutes, and if Ant can't go this evening, they're nationally televised tomorrow versus OKC. So if you want to miss the front end, this is a good one to miss in my estimation. So Jaden McDaniel's not crazy, and it's leverage off everybody taking Naz Reid all the time there. So That one kind of sticks out to me. Thomas Bryant and Bol Bol are going to be like the most popular of this grouping. I think you can go to Chicago and get some handling. Like if you want to go to like Giddy or something like that, like they just got curb stomped yesterday by Detroit there. So minutes were low at least. So if you want to not click Vooch's name, go ahead and click that stuff.
What do you got, Nez?
I was gonna say Jaylen Brown, but that's sort of like a cheapie. You know, he's got a Q tag and he projects well, but he's 35.5 right now.
You
And
guys
if he
better
does
start
go,
yelling at him. If he's gonna say Jaylen Brown, everybody better start yelling at him. Jaylen Brown's getting drafted. All right.
by me, when I don't have Tatum, I love Jaylen Brown. And then here's my other scroll down. Darius Garland. I have a theory that when the Cavs blow teams out, Darius Garland outscores Donovan Mitchell like 9 out of 10 times. So Darius Garland in the blowout is the guy that you want. I think he can put up 50 tonight on Toronto. Quickly was not included in that injury report, right?
Nope.
So and played 33 last night, but RJ's back.
And RJ's back. So like this could be like this has the ability to be somewhat of a back and forth game with some extra scoring here for the Raptors. So I think Darius Garland's a fun scroll. Nobody's getting to him. Everybody thinks it's Donovan Mitchell. Garland has outscored, like it wasn't long ago where Garland was outscoring Donovan Mitchell on like a nightly basis. So I think he's a fun scroll.
He also pairs well with like to not play Mitchell, to play him, because he won't be sharing the court with Mobley as frequently. So you're rising up the leaderboard by yourself, opposed to being in tandem with a team.
Good point. Yeah.
This is probably wrong, but I always gravitate towards whoever of the Cavs is the cheapest. Like I feel like they're all the same all the time, and I just give me the cheapest one.
I feel the same
Allen
about the Kings
also
right now.
35.4. I was just going to ask the Kings because I was looking at projections, and Levine and Monk also looked like they could qualify.
No, thank you, Jared. Zach LaVine. I'm going to wait till we see Zach LaVine do it for the Kings, because right now he's clearly like their fourth piece right now.
He's still trying to fit in.
Yeah.
He needs LeBron to tell him to fit out.
That's right. That's right.
I guess not having 5 turnovers would also probably help your fantasy score a little bit there.
Box score connoisseur.
All right, let's do a draft here before I have to say goodbye to Nez, John, Mike, and myself. Will still be hanging out. We can draft some more teams, get into some more strategy here. Influencer 102 for us here in this draft.
So can I ask, with the KD stuff, are you taking KD ahead of Tatum?
I think he's going to eventually go ahead of Tatum.
Are you taking him over Tatum?
No.
Are you taking him over Maxey?
No.
Okay, but it's probably right there, like over Sabonis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have Maxey over Sabonis.
Same.
It just depends on what Dink and Leone tell everybody to do. Because if their updates come out and they're gonna have KD like top 8, people are gonna do that.
We're going to need to update this joke. Dink going on paternity leave. I guess he's still going to be working behind the scenes, but he's going to be taking some time off here. So
I liked when you called Leone like our favorite Italian nerd. We got to call these like the spicy projections or something.
Leone also has nothing to do with these projections.
I know.
Shadowy fingers. I know.
Sushi.
Okay, we are on the clock. Can you make a case for anything other than Shea, or is he the number 2 with a bullet? Okay.
You can, but Shea is an MVP candidate, so I think you just take Shea. But you can make a case for Cade over Shea. Okay.
I was looking yesterday at the MVP market. What do you think his odds are on one of the redacted books for MVP right now?
Shea?
Plus 175.
I would say plus 200.
He was minus 600 at one of the spots I was looking.
It's a dumb book.
Is this your North Dakota book, John?
No, it wasn't. I promise it wasn't a North Dakota book. It was probably Canada only book where they were like, yo, these Canadian fools, they're going to slam SGA.
Steak.
John's favorite bit is he's like, you guys won't believe this odd I saw. This odds I saw. And then it's just
he loves it.
It's his bookie down on the corner of the street. Who hadn't even said a line yet. That just like made it up.
It's actually just the highest finishing Canadian vote getter. It's either him or Wiggins.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
man.
third.
Minus 650 is crazy. I mean, like Denver,
what?
they're definitely going to be the 1 seed, but Denver's. I mean,
Yo,
Jokic
all right.
is crazy.
Trey-
shit.
Trey
30 with a
Murphy
triple
just-
double.
Went at pick
Oh,
10.
fucking hell.
Who was it?
Franz, Trey, Brunson,
I love Franz.
KD.
I like
KD.
Franz. Or you want to do KD? You want to pull him
If
up?
KD's there, yeah, let's live with
Do it,
KD.
you
I
do
didn't-
it on the left side of the board, not the right side of the board. So KD makes sense here.
All right. There you go. There's KD.
I didn't realize KD was still on the board. Yeah, you fix your ranks, dude. Where do you got KD right now?
I don't have any rings, dude. I'm fucking raw dogging this.
Bare bones, baby.
All right. Lillard, Brunson, Amen, Zion, Scotty.
Amen.
Yeah.
Just watching John's face.
John, who did you want there?
The foam finger night, baby. He's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
put
that's
it
right.
on. He's gonna call for a switch every side, high side screen, switch onto Trey, and then just cook his ass over and over again.
Do we need to tag Numi to get an O tag on Booker?
That's not even his job.
Okay.
He told us that's somebody else.
All right, everybody
Ooh.
tag Leone.
Yeah.
The O tag.
Tag Rodman. Just tag him.
Hey guys, can we talk about two players? One that's falling and one that I think's mispriced.
Yeah.
Miles Bridges, obviously not a good matchup, but could have all the usage in the world. He's falling a lot to the late rounds. He seems like a sacrificial lamb to fall to the 6th round now, as other people push up these fun, sexy ones. And J-Dub with no Chet. We're back to the setup in which he was thriving earlier.
I'm taking Bridges in the 6th, mainly because I have so much Orlando too that I'm just like, yeah, sure, come on with it. J-Dub, I'm scared of. I was taking a ton. I don't love 14.5 or whatever it is. But if he's like the last pick of the 5th round, the 5-6 turn, like, yeah, man, you got to do it, right?
I'm okay with
Nez,
Zion
are we taking
here.
Zion?
Yeah.
You're gonna have swaps for days if he doesn't
Yeah.
go. And if he does go,
No.
congrats.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
If-
we're taking.
I'm
Zion.
not taking Miles Bridges because his team's total like projects like a high school basketball team. So I'm
What?
not
Real
taking
quick,
Miles
what
Bridges.
is it here?
Sub 100 for the team.
Yeah, but he has to score or be a part of all of those. He's going to be point forward, Bridges. We're looking.
Is this
I'll
Hart
never
or
be-
Şengün?
Oh, go ahead.
Hart, I think.
Yeah,
Hart's kind of my
Hart
new
because
line
we
in
have
the
Amen.
sand.
yeah. Şengün and Amen are not great together.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's
And that
usually
goes
one or
back
the
to what you
other.
were talking about at the beginning of the show. Like, you want to hit the nuts. We're playing for the Amen nuke game right now, and that comes at the expense of a Şengün nuke.
Yeah, because he's like snatching all his boards, and maybe Şengün's a little limited in this one. We want everything to go through Amen.
Okay.
I'm ready to lay down a little gauntlet here for no money, but I think Bridges outscores J-Dub.
Okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised about that. I'm not taking J-Dub right now because Chet's out, but like Hartenstein's still there. He's still a bit of a thorn in his fantasy point side. And the Miami spot is like it's whatever. But maybe that's gonna come back to bite me because J-Dub, when you least expect it's gonna put up 50. So I don't think he's a bad pick. I'm just like not doing it. I'm also not doing Nikola Vucevic. So
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you never,
Evergreen.
dude. See you never. dude.
Let's see, Mike. You want to scroll down to Bobby Portis here?
What about Jalen Green? Can Jalen Green go with Amen Thompson?
I
No, we're out on Jalen Green.
Nah.
I like
Yeah.
Jalen Green without Amen personally.
Jared Allen.
You got-
Do
Jared Allen's a fun
Garland.
scroll.
Yeah, Garland.
We're-
We're talking about him.
Or
yeah,
Jalen
you
Brown.
got me hyped up. You got me hyped on Garland.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
Garland, man.
Okay.
I think there is
Nez,
something.
I'm gonna let Nez get out of here because I know he has a heart out. Nez, any
Yeah.
final words for the people other than see you but not see you in San Diego? But I'm still gonna win the ticket.
Ugh,
See you in
yeah.
San Diego.
Yeah, I'm going to try to win that ticket so I can be there virtually. If I do win, I plan on doing so much virtual content as though I'm there. It's not even funny. So I'm trying to hopefully get there. Yeah, green screen, like from the delivery room. I'll see you in the lobbies. Best of luck, Mike. Thanks for coming on. Great to talk with you again. And if you see me in lobbies, don't tell my fucking wife, please. I'm trying to stay engaged at the OB. Don't tell her.
No
All right.
snitching, guys. No snitching.
Yeah, come on.
CNS.
Don't do it. Don't do it. People love Jewish McCaffrey will tweet at her like, "Hey, I see your husband in the lobby."
He's commenting on her Instagram. Wow, Nez just got 4th round De'Aaron Fox.
Oh
man!
Shout out Jewish McCaffrey. I think he mushed 2 slates in a row by victory lapping exposures. I think before like early in the day. I was right there with him. I just didn't tweet it.
Yeah, no, you can't tweet it. You can't tweet it. Okay, let's see here. Where are we at? All right, got the overlay set here. Let's see. What do you guys want to do? We can do more drafts. We could head to the Pick'em lobby to look at some stuff. We could look at some of the unabated stuff. John, I don't know. What do you think?
Let's rip a draft or two, and I will mess around with the Pick'em tool behind closed doors for a half second here and see if I can gear something up for the next segment.
Yeah, let's do a couple drafts, see if we can get them from a few different slots here to talk through. Mike, how many DB entries, target entries are we looking at for this slate?
So I've been pretty good. Oh, I'm in this one.
What?
I'm in this
conflict of interest.
I'll auto it.
No, yeah, no. John and I are gonna battle you to the death.
Yeah,
this is this.
No, go ahead, John.
I was just gonna say this is a tough lobby. You got two pre-qualifiers here. You got a 3rd place cuck chair guy. You got Nick, who's a resident Hoooops guy. This is a tough lobby, Pete.
All right, we can battle.
We might have to flip the board.
I'm gonna do 50 again today, and that's real. All right, I'm giving you a real number. I'm not saying 30, and then I'm gonna tell you it's 50 later. I'm gonna really do 50. That's what I've done the last 3 slates. I feel comfortable with that.
I like that. Yeah, I was just checking the fill rate right now. We're at 32.7%. This one locks tonight at 6:41 Eastern because we got that 7 p.m. Tip here. And it's going to be this is going to be settled late. Like your boy is going to be up when this slate settles, which is not normally the case on NBA slates. John, Wemby, or you got something just nasty up your sleeve?
No, let's go with the Wemby. Let's play the chalk here.
I gotta get the Canadian MVP favorite here.
Mike is just going to build the team we just built, but get Bridges on instead.
I just still can't believe I got lit up for the scroll the F down, and then Nez threw out Jaylen Brown, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, good pick." Yeah.
Well, here, can I tell you why I allowed it? Because Jaylen Brown's not going to play, and he's going to swap to a true scroll the F down guy.
You know what? Well, then be a man and click that guy. All right. Don't...
But I need my optionality.
I'm going to be trying to get as much bowl as possible. I don't care if that's box score hunting. I'm very excited about it.
No one's saying it's box score hunting. We're just saying it's no longer
I'll scroll the F down. Yeah,
the bowl is out of the box.
Yeah, maybe I don't scroll the F down. Maybe that's what I'm learning.
Have they put up the bowl lines yet?
It's probably like 49,
they still don't have it up yet.
49.
All right, Mike's on the clock. Grabs Franz. You want to do Jaylen and Trey? Are we gonna play the narrative, John?
Yeah, I mean, I think Trey falling is. I mean, I haven't seen him fall a ton, but I guess this is going to be the new landscape when people push up KD. But yeah, I'm down to play that game environment one.
Let's do it, dude. Here you go for all the haters. Foam finger narrative. Engaged.
Man, I would love to take Damian Lillard here.
You would?
Honestly, he played through the queue last time. It is weird that the progression of it was probable tag to Q tag to.
I know.
You know, like that one kind of, but it's more or less exactly what took place earlier this week.
I know. The spread jumped a little bit more. Like what I noticed though on Monday, the spread didn't move with the Dame tag, but it opened in a weird way. Like so, I don't know. But anyways, it moved like 2 points, I think, this morning after the Dame news. So that makes me a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
All right. So Mike starts Shea, Franz, Scotty Barnes. I had a question for you, John, as someone who listens to the program. And I actually asked Mike this the other day. What is the origin of the Scotty Bolway nickname? Because I asked Mike and I thought I was maybe out of the loop. And Mike's like, I listen to every NBA podcast out there and I've never heard anyone say this other than John.
Okay, so this is a purely Canadian thing. He is the face of Subway marketing campaign in Canada now. And when they pivoted to breadless stuff at Subway, they started making them bowls. And then he had all these commercials where he was bowling and then eating a Subway bowl. And then so like there's like every Subway you go to, there's a big like Scotty Barnes on like the outside of the thing. And people wear like Raptors gear inside Subway. So yeah, that's the origin.
There you go.
Canadian like Raptors in Canadian commercials is a very funny thing that I don't think enough Americans know about.
The other one that's really good is Grady Dick as a Gillette one. Yeah.
I just saw it. I was a guest on the Raptors Republic show, and they went down like a rabbit hole of like some Kelly Olynyk stuff. Just really good stuff.
Yeah,
John,
I like
we're at the turn. I does Hart and Brunson a little negative correlation there? I put Şengün in the queue. What do you like?
A little bit. I'm fine with it. I've been doing it, but it's going to be really commonly paired together just because of like where their ADPs line up. So fading, it's entirely fine. I think you flip to the other side of the board with a guy who doesn't make it back here. Zinger would be one, even though we don't really love the Zinger spot and we don't like the matchup. It's just a guy who will never come back. But you could also scroll twice and we could do like Portis and Bol Bol, or we could do Thomas Bryant. Let's scroll here though.
Yeah.
Do Bobby Portis and say he starts tonight. I mean, we're not going to know.
Will you talk through that dynamic, right? Because it's like Portis without Giannis has been an absolute monster. If you knew for a fact he was going to start, I assume is it the Kuzma starting? That's what's kind of keeping this ADP in check.
Yeah, but we haven't seen it without Dame yet. So if we end up with no Dame, I don't think there's any way Bobby Portis doesn't start.
And if you knew for a fact he was going to start, what would be an efficient ADP?
18, something like that.
So that seems like a pretty fucking good risk to take on a top 2 win it slate.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not the best matchup in the world going against like, Gobert and like the Minnesota. It's not the best spot in the world, but like, man, he's just a dog and his rates are awesome.
Oh, it's good to see normally Nick, pretty sharp drafter, taking the worst guy out there today in Paul George.
Mallet finger.
Wow. Okay, maybe where's the steam coming on Bol Bol? I was told, or maybe I made it up. Is there no steam coming on Bol Bol?
Someone say pretty good scroll.
Take Thomas Bryant.
Thomas Bryant? All right.
Yeah. Thomas Bryant played some really nice ball last night. Revenge spot for him here. Not that this guy seems to have much revenge in his heart, but yeah.
Okay.
Man, one interesting dynamic on these slates, because we have the smaller mains, is that you really have to do some guesswork on these Q tags and situations, because it's like where you're seeing right now where we at like 70% full on hump day hoops, 82, excuse me. And so like that's clearly going to be filled by like 4 p.m. Eastern. You really got to take some dart throws.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see here. We want to do one more. We could hop in the pick'em streets here. See what we can cook up. All right.
Yeah, I'm good with it. Man, the Jared Allen like big narrative coupled with the fact that like cooking Toronto bigs is like pretty fun just in general.
Yeah, that's why I was so surprised by the Mobley stuff. But I didn't like Mobley at 11, but all of a sudden Mobley at 18 or 19, I'm like, well, yeah, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We kind of glossed over him, but on that same wavelength, any Jared Allen love?
Yeah, I mean, actually, Pete, if you want to do the playback and just go back like 15 seconds, you'll hear John shout him out.
I was too busy resizing the frame here.
What was so perfect was it was like you subconsciously heard him say that because he just said it, and then you were like, I think we got to start looking at Alan.
Hey, no, fine. Let me rephrase it. Can I interest you in some Ty Jerome Q tag here instead? The guy I just learned was white. I thought for sure Ty Jerome was not white.
Jumfrey, are you referencing their rank or the projection with Bull?
Well, generally those are kind of one for one. So now we got the 1-3. So we've had the 1-1, the 1-2, 1-3. Are we doing Cade?
Yeah, I think
yeah.
So. Or do you like Cat? Because I had Cat 3 earlier, and then Nez scared the shit out of me.
I'm good interchanging them. I think I prefer Cade.
Okay.
I mean, Chicago's tempo, like they're awful on defense. They're awful versus catch and shoot. They're awful versus handling. Like Chicago's like the nut matchup. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Mike,
it too.
You refrained from bum hunting us in this one.
Am I in this one with you?
I said
you refrained from it. Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't. I had to save my bum hunting for the next time Davis streams.
Well, you're in luck. It'll be immediately after us today.
And just to shout that out, that is elite content. Davis doing hoop stuff before like the Slate locks is elite. It's great stuff.
Okay, there. So Jumfrey's saying it's not a 51 projection; it's 51st in their daily rankings.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, I'm gonna offer an apology. It's a scroll down. All right.
There we go.
It's a scroll down.
There you go.
Scroll down. Franz, Young, Mobley,
KD.
Brunson, KD.
Yeah, KD.
Yeah.
It's so funny, man. This happened. It's like I remember it happening in NFL sometimes too. Like the news breaks, everybody freaks out for like 20 minutes, and then it settles again. And now KD's back in like that 14, or not 14, but like pick 13, 11, 12, whatever. But for like 10 minutes, he was going 6.
Yeah, 100%.
Scotty Bowie, or anyone else. I mean, we're just Q tags all around here. Otherwise, Paolo.
I think I'm a little more Windhurst on the Dame than other people are, and
Okay.
I'd be comfortable clicking him here. But I especially because it's opposite side of the board when he was going this morning. Like he was going 6-7 over and over and over again. So at least you're getting some unique combos with it now.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Adam mentioned Giddey. You mentioned, John, did you talk about Chicago ball handlers a little bit? Like, I wondered, do you think everyone's going to overreact too much to last night's game? I know I've kind of felt that way where I'm like, man, this is just a dog shit environment. Like, has the team kind of given up post-trade deadline? But like the Giddey, Kobe Whites of the world, are you getting there a little bit?
I'll get to Giddey and Kobe White for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's just like when Lonzo's doubtful. I mean, Kevin Huerter kind of throws a little bit of a wrench in it, but he's a catch and shoot guy more so. Pistons aren't as sweet a matchup. Oh, let's make this pick. Sorry.
Mike, you said you like Paolo.
Yeah, I love Paolo tonight.
All right, let's
Paolo or Zion here, even though I really don't think Zion's playing, but it's just 4th round Zion's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we took him in our first draft at what, 23? Is that where we got him?
I think so. That sounds
right.
Right.
I think it's worth to see to put like, yeah. So Magic Carp's Robots took him at 26 there. Mike, this is your chance you want Bridges, that little Paolo Bridges mini there?
Little game correlation. This goes triple overtime.
And then we'll let John get an epic scroll.
I think the rebounding rate boosts up a little bit for Bridges too. Like obviously no Mark Dub, and like we're dealing with Diabate's Q tag after getting hit in the face and then balling out after. So I do think the little uptick in the rebounding rate too, even if this is a slower paced, low scoring environment.
This is definitely reactionary, but Super Bowl Sunday, I watched that Charlotte. Who did they play? Was it not Philly? It was some Charlotte game, and Detroit maybe. And the game got out of hand, and like it was over. And Bridges was still playing garbage time and went nuts in the last like 2 minutes. And I'm like, all right, he's gonna do everything. Yeah.
It's interesting how they stagger his rotation too, because when the bench unit comes on, he just switches from a handling role to being the 4.
Yeah.
And then he's just collecting boards. So it's like, I don't know. His role's pretty solid to me.
Yeah, I know it's gross against Orlando, but I'd rather those types of players against Orlando than the ball handler, like the guards.
Yeah.
We could do the John, your Chicago thing if you want to do like Giddy. Bol is here. Who else do we like?
Yeah, good with that. Good with the CJ McCollum call as well. Good with Tyler Hero. I think Hero plays tonight. Yeah. CJ's not getting drafted. Go take CJ.
And if Zion were ruled out right now, McCollum would shoot up a good bit.
I think it would be like the fun, sexy. It would be exactly like Bol is right now, where it feels like the fun, sharp, sexy new click in like the 6th. But like they'll all just project in this same clump of like 36 to 32 fantasy points. So it just, it would make it an over-owned scroll opposed to an under-owned scroll.
And I don't think we should be like going out of our way to stack stuff at all tonight. But if there was a game to do it, that one I think is the most fun because I don't think you're wasting a ton of draft capital early unless it's Sabonis, and it's pretty easy to go like Trey, CJ, Monk, or like pull one of them up to the 5th round and go like Monk, CJ, whatever. I just think there's fun ways to get involved. And if that, I know Zion missing would make it a little less competitive, but it's going to be a lot of points in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. Just seeing like the players who go undrafted, it is a pretty loaded slate. Like there's a lot of guys we've discussed here today, even in the scroll down kind of territory that goes pretty deep. Yeah. Right, you guys want to build?
Shout out.
Ooh, there's Bol. 21.5 point PRA. Is that higher or lower than you would have expected?
Much lower. That's like a guy that shouldn't be getting drafted in our contest, but we know the ceiling outcome of Bol, and we've seen it, right? Like,
so why isn't he projecting better? Why isn't like what's going on here? Where's the disconnect?
Historically speaking, Bol has a 50 fantasy point game and then doesn't play for 3 weeks. That's kind of the Bol experience.
Yeah, sliding, he would be like a perfect slide candidate. Because like there's also this outlying non-zero chance that like Micic is available tonight and they work him into the rotation and all of a sudden they decide to go back to the Ryan Dunn starting lineup, or Royce O'Neal is good enough to just start, and they wouldn't play him at the 4, but KD at the 4 or whatever. So there's like a non-zero chance he goes back to the bench, but he's played so well the last 3 games. I don't necessarily see it.
And I think the real bull case for it is the Nick Richards just like flaming out. Like my guy, Big Dick Nick Rich, we're going to have to come up with a new nickname for him because he has been awful. And I think him starting in that second half was a pretty good sign because I don't think Memphis is necessarily an opponent where you have to be like, oh, we need to make sure we go super big against them. I just think that straight up Bol was outplaying them.
Well, I'll tell you right now, that seems free.
What's up?
I just put Bol double doubles in the queue.
Oh, dude.
2.57x.
Oh yeah.
Free. I don't.
That is free.
I don't want to say log, but it's a log.
You could also go down the rabbit hole of now Suns to like if you want to make this 3 instead of 2 or something like that, and pair it with guys that it would come at the expense of. So that's like something that I've been doing. Market-based projections suggesting that like Tyus Jones is overpriced right now, and that would correlate well. So if you wanted to do like Tyus Jones lower on assists and points because Bol's shooting more or whatever, that's showing an edge in the market tool right now.
Love
I
it.
like that.
Let's see. I don't see assists and points for him. He's got a 22.5 PRA. That's refreshing right now. 6.5 assists, 16.5 points and rebounds.
I would do the PRA then.
Yeah.
It's refreshing as well.
Yeah, they're trying to
New
me.
I'm watching the show, dude.
Just let us cook.
I'm watching the show. Get the out tag up.
Let's see here. Let me go again.
see.
Yeah, they pulled it. They knew. There. Oh, there's your points and assists, John.
Oh, there we go.
20.5.
Yeah. Oh, they juiced it on us. Okay. Well, it still correlates well if we get a little boost for that. And then I would suggest getting ahead of the Zion thing. If we're all team Zion sits and they're giving us some, CJ, or they're giving us Trey Murphy, I'd flirt something like that.
What do
I
you
like
like
that.
on CJ or Trey? They're both pretty similar for points PRA.
If they're similar, I'd prefer Trey.
Yeah, feels a little bit safer.
Yeah. Yeah, because man, you think about the ADP discrepancy between those guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're like neck and neck.
There is also Nez talks about it a lot because he uses the Pick'em lobby as a guiding tool even more so than I do in the drafts. There is definitely tendencies that you can pick up on where they know that the market's going to be frothy to try and get ahead, so they just stagger both of them too high and then they drop down once you get the news and stuff like that. But this one doesn't seem outlandish in any regard.
Yeah, fantasy points 39.75, 33.5 PRA, and then McCollum's 32.5 PRA and 35.25 fantasy points. To me, that like CJ's a very strong 6th-round pick. If his PRA is like neck and neck with Trey Murphy right now.
Absolutely.
I'm with EZ too in the chat. I was just gonna mention the PJ stuff. I think if he goes, he's gonna have to play a ton of minutes, and he's literally their only big right now. So I think I really like that.
Do we want to lock this one in? Keep it at like a 14. Keep it simple here.
Yeah, let's lock that one in here, and then we can do a late slate one with the PJ one, because PJ wasn't a guy that had come across my mind yet because he's not on our slate, right? So
right.
Yeah, PJ's pretty smart. I do like the Vooch lower stuff.
Yep.
It's just kind of evergreen.
Yeah, I tailed. Yeah, Easy had put one of these in the Discords last night. That was Mattis higher, Vooch lower, and then of course, the Vooch did his part, and then they pulled the starters, and Mattis didn't get there. So we can build that out. Just points with him, or do you do something else?
Let me check. I like points usually with him. You can also go by way of blocks, but it's a little sketchier.
Reduce it a little so it's not 14.5.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, I like
a little
that.
push up. Yeah.
Just take Vooch lower on the PRA or fantasy points.
Yeah. PRA or fantasy points, good with either. What's the fantasy points number? Is it 38?
36.85.
I think I slightly prefer PRA then.
Yeah. Man, he's been such dog shit.
Yeah, I think he really wanted to get traded, and then
He sure did.
Yeah, and then they just didn't want to trade him. I don't know, for whatever reason. I think they should have traded him. But
yeah,
and then what we want to do the Washington on this one, or did you want to keep this isolated to the main slate?
No. Let's do the PJ Washington with this, because that one's it'll be a good little late night hammer to it.
I got one more.
What was the angle? What was the angle on PJ?
PRA, I think. PRA was the one that I liked the most.
Okay.
I think that's what Easy said, right? Yeah, PRA.
Yeah.
Or rebounds. The other two, the other spot I feel like we should talk just a second for pick'ems is Utah and the Lakers. And I think like figuring out either like John Collins points or maybe some Walker Kessler points and rebounds or something like that. I know Kessler kind of needed to get bailed out there in the fourth quarter in a game that was over to like hit that double-double or whatever. But I still think the Lakers are just going to get cooked by fives, big 4s and 5s.
We absolutely need to build a Luka one. They say that if you put something in a thumbnail, you got to pay it off for the viewer. And this, man, I didn't even see this coming, because I asked John, I think on Monday, I was like, is Luka safe for an off and on the clock thumbnail, wondering about his status because he hadn't been ruled in yet for Monday. And John was like, if he plays Monday, he'll play Wednesday. I didn't even think that Mr. Newmy would fucking axe him from the slate.
Wow.
Render my thumbnail useless. So we have to build a Luka. Have to.
I'm good with it. He's got
Sorry,
Q tag.
What are the angles opposite that you liked?
Either
The
John Collins points, maybe. I think it's at set, maybe like juice it to 19.5.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
And then I was either Kessler boards, but I don't think you need to force Kessler. I just wanted to attack one of those two guys.
Kessler, man, you're getting juice lower on double doubles. He's been such a machine there.
Wow.
What are the boards at? Like 11.5?
Yes, 11.5, and that's juice lower too.
Make it. Yeah, that's crazy. What's the juice if we get him to 20? What if we get a big beef night? Gets 20 boards.
Okay. Oh my god, they won't even let us. They'll let us take it to 18 for a 5.63. See, this is normally my role. You know, with the football stuff, it's like looking at Devontae Smith's 50.5, and I'm like, why don't we take this thing up to 100? You know, like what?
A lot of people in the chat talking about Klingon too, right there without Ayton tonight.
Yeah, that could be a fun one.
Yeah.
And they already ruled out
Time Lord.
No, I was gonna say like just a rotationary piece. Scoot as well.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let me
Is
see.
it Scoot as well?
Yeah, they're without DeAndre, Scoot, and Matisse Thybulle, but they also have Q tags on Jeremy Grant and Time Lord.
And Chris Murray, who sometimes factors in to that 4 rotation. I like that Klingon one. Yeah.
Which one? Points or something else?
Probably boards or PRA.
Yeah, points and rebounds, whatever.
Yeah. Is there an even multiplier on points and rebounds?
Man, no. Everything's at 0.89 with this fucker.
We're paying the tax right now.
The chat loves Collier too. Collier, big dimes. He got me a dime slider over the weekend, so I'm forever indebted to Collier.
Chat saying the double-double, though, is a 2x. Can we get a double-double out of this guy?
Absolutely.
In the box.
Yo, absolutely.
Let it rip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, let's build the true sicko one and do Klingon and Delano Banton together.
Yeah.
And just start
Come again? Come again?
Delano Banton.
How do you spell that?
You had it?
Money. He spelled money.
They're not even going to give it to you.
Am I spelling that right? Banton?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't see him.
Yeah.
I do not see him. Hang on. We have to put something with Luka.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Unders?
Because what was it? It was the other night I did unabated, shouted out his under 3-pointers. And I believe it was the same one, under 3.5. What breakdown? What do you think the minute situation is going to be? Because he played 23 minutes in his debut.
Yeah, they cooked too, so they were up a lot, so they could take the foot off the gas. But I don't know. I think they run it back tonight. Like I was big, like they play national TV. If he's not ready, he would just sit out to the All-Star break. But the fact that he played last game makes me think he plays again tonight. I mean, I'd be good with almost anything lower.
Yeah, because I think he probably plays 28 minutes, right? And he could definitely get there in 28 minutes. He's awesome, but I don't imagine Utah keeps this close, even though this one's in Utah, I think. So I like the unders there.
All right. Yeah, 46 point. Now, where do
let's
you
do
think
let's do the fantasy points.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that looks big. What do you think his ADP would have been on this slate? Let's live in a hypothetical world where only the Lakers are on it. Forget all the other late slate stuff. Where do you think Luka would slot in with these other guys?
2. I think people would just take that Q tag at 2 and embrace the variance of it. And then as the day went on, he'd probably slide to like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So that's so interesting to me because I guess it's just saying, even with the minutes potentially not being there, that he's just so efficient that it just doesn't matter, basically.
Yeah. And I could just see people being like, well, they blew him out. That's why he only played 24 minutes. But Luka looked like he needed an inhaler. He looked pretty winded in his time out there.
All right. There you go.
Zion plan.
Yeah.
All right. I am now will not get sued for
Luka
not including
PRA's
Luka content.
currently higher than Wemby's. Wow.
Wow.
Let's see what 38.5. I mean, but what? I mean, Wemby's value is so much through blocks.
Mhm.
His
Yeah,
fantasy points is higher there. 50.05 there for Wemby. How does Lucas stack up against Shea? Because that would have been the interesting one there. 42.5
Oh, I
PRA,
forgot. Shea, I'd rather have Shea than
50.75.
Luka.
Yeah, maybe third over Cade and Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
I'm so spooked by these OKC games lately where it's like I feel like SGA is going to get you somewhere between 46 and 54 points, but he's not going to get you 60. And I in a competitive game, I feel very comfortable, but there's only like 5 teams in the league they play competitive games against now. They just beat the pants off of everyone. And so you see a 14-point spread and it's like, yeah, he's going to score 31 real life points in 28 minutes, and then Aaron Wiggins is going to take over.
Right. Yeah.
Run good
Aaron
Rick in the
Wiggins,
chat.
nice.
Run good Rick
Ooh.
says we going back to the Beasley 3 sliders. I told you guys on that yesterday, and I had one of the funniest experiences because I had just looked at my Pick'em sweats and he was at 0, and it like refreshed. And it showed that he had made 3, and I had to like go to the game score to like see it. I was like, dude, this guy just drilled 3 threes within a span of 1 minute. I was like, how did the hell did that happen?
He comes off the bench and just shoots it at a bull rate.
I think I read something this morning that he already has made the most threes in a season in Pistons history.
Yes. Yeah, I heard it on the broadcast yesterday.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm down to slide the 3s on Beasley of the super cool variety.
What did you do it to last night? 5.5?
I think we did 4.5, but I'm down to do 5.5. And then the Aaron Wiggins one, shout out to our guy Justin, unabated. Aaron Wiggins has got home on his points in 5 consecutive now. So they're just not accounting for his ability to score off the bench and sometimes start or play garbage time. So there's like 3 outs with him. I'm down to slide. Just a cheeky slide. Just a cheeky.
Yeah, cheeky. Keep it nice and cheeky.
What's that get us to? Like 9?
8.8, yeah.
Yeah, let's run that one for like 100 or something. Or I'm not. Yeah, I want to run that one for.
I get unit shamed of my street.
The confidence interval. I was like, yeah, here we go.
There you go, John. This is just for you. Like, I'm not gonna get big dicked when I'm hosting.
So good. So good.
That was like when we were doing our off and on the clock draft last week, and you set up the private draft. Or Nez sets it up, and John goes, "Did you make it for something where I'm gonna feel something?" And Nez is like, "I got a goddamn baby on the way. Just chill out. This 3-person private draft."
Oh, that's excellent.
All right, let me.
I think I got cooked in it too.
Yeah, I'm invoicing you $75 that I wouldn't have additionally put onto this if it loses.
Mike, you brought up a good point with like just the OKC thing. We've talked about it through the Cleveland narrative as well, that just like nobody plays them competitive, so they're always like all soft capped at like 30 minutes because they never get the garbage time run. This slate in particular, like we didn't do our normal like full game by game. I made it. I'm sorry. I just got to click 200 here on this.
You moving the goalpost up? I'll do it again for.
But like Pacers, 10-point road favorites. Celtics are almost 10 points at home. Magic are 12.5. Cavs are 13. I mean, Sixers and Nets is one of the closest ones on the slate with a 3. Knicks are 8.5. T-Wolves are 8.5. OKC is 14. Like, it's pretty crazy, man. It really sheds some light on that kind of Kings-Pelicans matchup that you talked to with like closer spread, even if they're factoring in the Zion Q tag now, it's only 6 there for the Kings. and it's almost a 240. So yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, it is. And for whatever reason, like I trust the OKC spreads more than some of the other ones. Like we've seen, I don't know, like OKC they just don't have letdown spots outside of when they play the Dallas Mavericks. No matter who's playing for Dallas, they just show up. They're so good. I'm getting more and more excited about just taking pieces from this Sacramento and New Orleans game, and especially the 5-6, because it feels a little scrolly to pull up like a CJ and a DeRozan to do it. I like it quite a bit.
Because people are only doing it as one-offs, right? So
right.
It's pretty good.
JCam asking, where in the Discord are you posting the links for these? So I did just post the ones we built in. This is the Deposit Kingdom Discord in the main Badge Bros channel. Posted the pick'ems there. If you're watching this on delay before the slate locks, I'll also have them pinned in the comments below and in the description. And if you guys aren't in the Discord, I know some people are new around here, Deposit Kingdom Discord. We got a bunch of the Badge Bros channels in there, a bunch of other channels there, premium channels, ship chasing, all of that good stuff all takes place in the Deposit Kingdom Discord. There's a link down below. And if you guys are YouTube members on my account, you are able to sync and unlock some channels. And who knows, maybe even the Badge Bros will have a premium channel in the future. No one really knows.
Maybe, but you do get a sweet little badge beside your name if you link our account too. So that gives you some clout in the streets there. But yeah, I don't know. I could speak to 101 boomer of figuring out Discord. It took me about 3 years of watching Pete's content to then finally sign up for the Discord, and it was an invaluable resource for some of the drafting. Like the shit that goes on is great.
I legitimately remember that. I feel like you were talking to me on Twitter or DMs or something, and I was just like, it's enough already, John. Like, just get in the Discord. Like, everything you're asking me is like taking place over there, and you're like, I'm such a boomer, bro. I don't do Discord. And now you love it.
I do love it now. I am sick with it. I really love the community that has been built there.
Let's see. Any, we're winding down here. Any other angles, things you guys want to discuss for this slate? I should mention, if you guys are looking for non-Dog Bowl stuff, the Wednesday main slate here is going to fill probably within the next 30 minutes here. 96% full. Looks like I sadly will not be getting any in here, but if you want to get that in, otherwise, all of our efforts, all of our time will be going to this Dog Bowl qualifier, which is filling at a nice clip. I mean, I think when I mentioned it, 20 minutes ago, was that 37%, up to 41. So this one could approach filling. I think we've had a little overlay, right? Like 84, 86, 87% these past few slates.
Yeah, that's a good fill rate. I like this. People are frothy, man, to get down there. Last opportunity to get down to beautiful Slam Diego. I mean, I keep mentioning this on all the shows. The resort looks incredible.
Yeah. And Numi, if you want to change the rules and just like let third place go, like that'd be pretty sick.
I think I already said it. I mentioned in the Discord that Numi said anyone who gets third place can sleep underneath the Ocean Beach Pier
nice.
for free. Yeah.
It sounds nice.
It is. It's a nice place there, for sure. Someone was asking in the chat earlier about at the Dog Bowl. John's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Unfortunately, Nez not going to be there. He had to go ahead and get knocked up right during the Dog Bowl. It's like
Nez got knocked up?
Nez.
Is that how that works?
It's progressive. It's like we're pregnant, right?
Oh,
we're pregnant.
Collectively, they got knocked up.
Yeah. Because most people, think about, I thought about like the football schedule when we were thinking about having a kid. But Nez, there was no way to know the NBA Dog Bowl. That wasn't even a thing when Nez got knocked up. So we can let him off the hook. But yes, join us. We've had a lot of people from the Discord recently. Coach, aka Jordan, punched one the other night. Lava Lord, Wood, John. Who else am I forgetting there from the Deposit Kingdom Discord?
I don't have the list in front of me. Yeah. But yeah, there were a bunch of them. We've given them a shout out on each individual show there. But yeah.
There you go.
I mean, the coach one was crazy. Jordan scooping the main and
full sweep
seat in this elite stuff.
Yeah,
I think it was the first of its kind on the platform, regardless of sport.
Yeah. Well, and didn't Lava the night he won, didn't he finish second in the main?
Yeah, second and second. Yeah.
Wow. There you go. What you really need, he just messed it up that you got to finish first in the main, second in the dog bowl. That's how you maximize your equity there.
Yeah, Mathology throwing some other ones out there that were earlier in the process there. Viper, A-Win, Sam Olsen.
Those feel so long ago at this point. So yeah. Final slate tonight, guys. So and look, I will say this. A lot, the old adage, if I had 150 lineups, I would win 2. Viper, I think his first night had a couple of entries, if I recall correctly. Patrick Barnes, YouTube, who qualified for the Dog Bowl. Most people know him as a nemesis to Davis on his channel. Literally put 2 entries in the night he won. If you're a grinder, you absolutely hate hearing that fun fact. If you were a newbie, you absolutely love hearing that. It goes to show that anyone can win on a given night. So take some stabs in there. You can sweat the leaderboard. It's a fun time. Mike, let the people know what other NBA content you got going on. Any live before locks tonight for people?
No, done with live before locks till post All-Star break. But yeah, we do the NBA Bit, which is a YouTube channel called the NBA Bit. I do shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. And then we have a Fantasy Hoops channel too, Elite Fantasy Hoops, where we got a bunch of stuff going on over there. And then last minute, heading to the Bay Area this weekend for some All-Star game festivities. Me and Kevin Hart, apparently. So we'll be out there. Did you guys see that?
Tom Brady told me it's going to be hard to spot him when he's out there.
Oh, yeah, dude. And he's like, well, he did make fun of my wife getting railed, so I had to get him back.
You sure got him, Tom.
Yeah. It's like, whoops, dude. I don't think so, man.
Yeah. Yes. Excited. Are you going to have, you going to be shooting a bunch of content when you're out there?
Yeah. Doing some stuff, some solo stuff for myself, and then some So Rare stuff as well. But I'm going on a little boat cruise with Boogie Cousins, a little sightseeing boat cruise with DeMarcus Cousins. So that's
he came up.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
He randomly came up yesterday on our paywall stream there, and we went down the Boogie Cousins rabbit hole.
The ACL, right? You were saying that's why we think no one can come back from ACL tears?
Right. Yeah. Achilles. Yeah.
Achilles. That's Achilles. Yeah.
John, let the people know if for some reason they're not familiar with the work of the Badge Bros, if they want to get slate breakdowns similar to this, even more in depth on a day-to-day basis. What is your guys' schedule?
Yeah, we've been doing, as the name suggests, Underdog Daily. And if there's a slate, we will break it down for you guys, sometimes behind the coveted paywall there. But the pick'ems alone over the last 3 days have surely taken care of those memberships for the next 10 years at the $5 price point. But yeah, we run 2 p.m. Eastern every single day, break down the hoop slate. I think tomorrow we're going to do some big board stuff. That one is not going to be paywalled. And then Friday, I'm away for this weekend, and Nez is going to do a solo one for that slate, and then probably a no strip Nez for the Dinger as well. But I know he's got some personal stuff going on. So at least 2 more shows this week, and then we will be back next. Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm going to give people a piece of alpha. If you're like, man, I'd love access to those behind the paywall Badge Bros breakdowns, but I don't have the cash right now. I just don't have it. Here's your hack. The day after a big slate, maybe a dog bowl slate or whatever, you just hop in the chat, because one of these guys is going to come in swinging their big dicks around like Copper Price did the other day, like Viper did. Copper takes down, 100K on redacted, gives them out, and you just sit and wait. And because everybody's already a member who watches that channel, your likelihood of winning the randomized gifted membership is extremely high. So there's a hack. Just be tuning in to the Badge Bros streams, and one will fall into your fucking, lap, just freeloading around there. Sorry, I guess
it sounded like you were going to censor yourself. You were like, fucking, shouldn't say that.
No, I was trying to find the word freeloading in my head. There you go. Exactly. No, it's not. It's teaching people to let other people pay for them. It's kind of how you do it. It's like when I go out to dinner with my father-in-law, and it's just like, just keep trying to find my wallet, and it's just like, okay, you got it.
The slow reach for the check.
He always likes to make the joke. He's like, oh, and all of a sudden Pete turns into a sloth when it's time to pay the check. No, as far as me, we have Lulz tomorrow. We're having Ship My Money on, who actually does a bunch of NBA stuff, makes his own projections. So that will be a fun really conversation. Probably some more like inside baseball conversation with him. And then I'm going to do an After Dark on Friday night with Pat Mayo. So he's been on Lulz before. I've never done an After Dark. So we'll talk some, behind the scenes stuff, content, business, chop it up about whatever. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you guys for hanging out. Good luck. Hope someone watching this show punches their ticket to San Diego. And we'll see you guys next time on Off and On the Clock, which will be on Tuesday afternoons going forward. So you can keep an eye out for us there. All right. For Nez, for Zakarian, for John, I'm Pete. See you guys next time on Off and On the Clock.
See you guys.